let's talk about felons. Because I'm so fucking sick and tired of hearing about this crime, and all this other shit. People talking about stuff they really know nothing about, only in an academic sense. But I know a little bit more through experience. I'm a felon myself, and I did 6 years in prison. And I'm not going to discuss the blacks and browns being blacks and browns because that's something we all observe, and something we really, none of us can identify with. None of us who are white, anyway. Um, but I'm going to talk about the white felons. Um, what I observed is that I understand now why they changed the DSM name from psychopathic personality disorder to antisocial personality disorder, because that is exactly what it is. They are antisocial, meaning that they have absolutely no real social instincts other than self-preservation, and even that self-preservation for the moment. Um, they have no cause. Most of them, anyway. I'm talking about the common white criminal. I'm talking about. They have no cause. They just nonchalantly want something and they take it. That's how they describe their crimes. The same way, we would have a conversation maybe about what we had for dinner or whatever. And again, I separate these from like serial killers because I believe that serial killers have a cause. They have a vendetta, a rage against society. Whereas these common white criminals, they don't have that. There's no, they don't talk about how they're victims or how they were abused or any of that shit. They just talk about, well, I needed money, so I robbed a bank, and that's why I'm here. Um, like this one fellow white inmate I talked to said that he robbed a bank because after he had just gotten released from prison, he didn't like the stipulations of parole, so he robbed a bank and said, "Fuck it, I'll just go back to prison." I mean, he could have just violated the parole stipulations, which would have been a lot less serious. But he decided to get himself another felony, just because I didn't like the stipulations of parole, so I robbed a bank. They're what they call antisocial personality disorder is it's an accurate term. They have no feelings towards society or even themselves. And again, when I say that they have no concern about themselves, I don't mean that it's like like they feel sorry for themselves, or it's like they just don't really care about anything except for the moment. Um, yeah, in some ways it's like a conundrum. They they have no regard for societal rules, but yet they'll function better in a institutional setting. It's but it's like sometimes, it's like I remember talking to some of these guys and thinking to myself, like, it's like these people aren't even human. It's like some of the things that they would say, and again, I'm not talking about murderers even. I'm just talking about their general attitude, and I could see why they would cause concern to authorities, but they don't. They don't, because they're not a national security threat. They don't, because they don't care about anything. Yeah, they're a danger to the community. Not even because they're again, because they're motivated by rage or anything. It's just that they have no feeling whatsoever, and it's like if you get in their way, then they'll squash you like an ant in the ant on a wall if they have to, and just go about their business. But they have no cause. They have no. They don't get special visits, before their release, because they have no feeling, and they're only a danger to anybody who gets in their way. They're not a danger to larger entity, so to speak, for lack of a better term. But yeah, I know what felons are, and I know that they have absolutely no human emotion that most people never come into contact with these people. And even if they do in contact, even if they do briefly, you wouldn't notice that they were abnormal until you were in a situation with them where they felt among friends. So I can understand I can understand better than any law enforcement about the danger of felons, but the government isn't concerned about them. They're concerned about people who they're concerned about felons who are actually motivated by a higher purpose. I'm Jason Barron. Hope this has been educational. Have a wonderful day.